Well, another signing day, and obviously the first signing day is the really the big one, where you spend a lot of time recruiting guys all year long and trying to convince them to come be a part of your program and help in the success of building a championship level team. And today, there's it's been a good day as well. So I think since last signing day until now, we've had some additions that we think will help our team. At the receiver position, we've added Kevin Coleman and Jamari Thrash, who we really like out of the transfer portal. I really feel like they're both dynamic players and can help us, make big plays and score touchdowns. We're excited about them. At the running back position, Isaac Garendo, we feel like is a big, strong back that can complement the others that we have and add to our depth in the backfield and hopefully make some plays for us. The tight end position, Jamari Johnson was not signed by the time we talked last year on signing day, but we're excited to get him. He's a big, strong, physical young man that used to play quarterback, moved to tight end, and we think will be a really good player for us. At the offensive line position, we've added an offensive guard in John Paul Flores from Virginia that he's here already. He's doing a really good job. We're excited to add him to the mix. At the quarterback position, we've added Jack Plummer, who Jack we've been fortunate enough to coach. He's played a lot of football. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's athletic, he's a leader, he's a winner, and we think he'll do a great job for us. And then move to the other side of the ball. Marquise Grove Killebrew is a cornerback that we're very excited about. He's got great length, can run. Has some connections here to the city of Louisville. As a transfer, we think can come in and do a really good job for us. At the defensive end position, Stephen Herring, right here from our backyard, really smart young man coming from Stanford. We know a lot about him. He's a hard worker. He's tough. He's physical. He's gotten better every year. He's put up really big numbers in the Pac-12 and done a really good job. So we're excited to add him. And then at the defensive back / linebacker position, Gilbert Frierson from Miami, we think fits a position for us that we need to add some depth and some bodies, and he definitely can play football, and he can get on the field for us and do some good things. And then from the high school ranks, we've added Joe Crocker, an offensive lineman from Nashville that is big and strong and physical, and we like him, and I think he'll come in and do a good job.
Jeff, how many do you still have? I know you still have some spots left. I guess, first of all, have you ever gone out of a signing day and had spots left? And what do you look forward now, like in transfer portal?
Well, believe it or not, we have quite a bit of room left, and I'm not used to that. Where I've been, it's been hard to fit guys into your rosters. So we have plenty of room to continue to recruit and continue to add to our team, and where we feel, positions that can help us. We'll have some time possibly as we're around our team now through workouts, through spring practice, be able to evaluate and see where we're at as well, and all the way up until after spring and in the months of May, we can continue to add if we need to. So that'll be a constant thing that never ends, and we feel like we've got a good eye of what's going on in the future, and we should be ready for things to pop if they do. If we think it'll help our team, we'll definitely try to add to the mix.
Jeff, based on your goals going in, what you needed, do you feel like you did fill most of the needs you had?
Well, I think we've had success. It's been very successful at all the positions, and there's some really good football players already on this team that have done a great job. As we try to analyze and see where we need to add some people that can help us, I think we've addressed that to a great degree and feel good about the ones that are here, and really think we've added some dynamic players at certain positions. And like I said, we'll continue to evaluate and move forward. And like I said, it's an everyday process with all of our coaches and recruiting staff to make sure that, we have an eye on what's going on. And if we need to add some young men to help us win football games, we want to do that.
Jeff, has there ever been a more challenging time to build rosters with all that's happening in the game and transfer portal and that?
Well, the rules change every year, and if you sit back and think about all the things that are different than what it was in the past, yeah, it can be very challenging. But the way we think of it is, those are the rules. You have to adapt yourself and move forward. So, it's part of the process now, and we're just getting here. But in general, we want to do a great job with our current players on the team. We want to help develop them to be the very best they can be. We want to help them achieve their goals. We want to do it the right way. We want to build a relationship. We want to make sure that they trust us and understand we're going to push them and help them, get to where they want to get at. And if you do that, normally, guys want to stay and continue to play for you. But like everything, there's going to be times where people think there's a better opportunity somewhere else, and we want to respect that and be ready to adjust when that happens. So I think when you come in new, you're going to have probably more movement than you would normally like to have. But at the same time, I do think it's going to become very common here as we proceed forward. And, these guys want to get on the field. They want to play. And if they're not given the opportunity here, I don't think there's anything wrong with them to look around and see if there's a better option.
Jeff, as you mentioned, there's a group already on campus. Obviously, that can be a challenging transition for guys that were superstars in high school, getting to college, kind of adapting to their new team, the new coaches and everything. In just this short period, what's been your impression on how well they're adapting and how they seem around the other guys?
Well, I think we got a great nucleus of guys that all get along, and they want to come here with a common purpose of trying to win a championship, achieve their goals, become great at what they do. Get a great degree, and hopefully get a chance to play at the next level. And I think that as coaches, we're going to be committed to helping them do that. I think we have a staff that loves to coach and loves to develop and loves to win, and we want to try to do it year one, and that means we're going to have to work hard at it, and our players are going to have to learn what we're doing as fast as they can and get out there on the field and execute. But a lot of times, these guys are passionate about what they do, and if we can provide them a platform to be their best, and they feel good about working hard and competing and striving to win big football games, hopefully we can get that done. So I like the nucleus of the guys right now, and I think they're doing a really good job in workouts and getting better each and every day.
You mentioned Jamari. Obviously, he's only had, I think, around 2-ish seasons playing tight end. What's impressed you the most about him and his ability to just move positions and have the success that he's had?
Well, Jamari's a big, athletic young man, and that's a plus. I think he can grow to be a very strong and physical tight end with great receiving skills and ability to stretch the field. He's got really good hands. For the tight end position and any position on the offense-defense line, it's a little bit of adjustment just to get used to the size and the physicality of the college game. So that'll happen a little bit, but we're going to push the envelope and get him out there as much as we can this spring and let him learn as fast as he can. And if he's ready to go, he'll be out there playing.
Coach, you mentioned you still have some spots open. Is there a specific room or group that you're looking to add depth to with those scholarships you have left?
Well, I think that always on the offense and defensive line, you're keeping your eyes and ears open just to make sure you have enough physical bodies there to be able to compete at a high level. A lot of times, in my opinion, difference in the championship teams winning and other teams not is up front. So we want to always keep our eyes for that. But we want to continue to recruit the linebacker position, make sure we have enough guys there to compete in the secondary. I feel good where we're at, but we have some injuries that we're getting shored up. That'll take a little time, so we may be short in the spring. I think we addressed the receiver position and added depth there. And, we'll always look at, tight end as a unique position, so we'll always look and just see if there's a veteran that can, come in and add to the mix. If there's not, that's fine too. We'll make it work. And, probably those are the main spots right now. But in general, our philosophy is if there's a great player out there that we think can help the team in any position, we'll add them.
Yeah, first time we've seen you since the schedule was released. Just your reaction to the schedule and the Georgia Tech game being moved up a day, and you got 4 midweek games.
Well, we're excited about it. Back in my days here at Louisville, the midweek games have always been successful. To be able to play on the national spotlight, and hopefully find a way to win. In the Big Ten, we didn't have as many as those for sure. But to be able to open up in the Mercedes-Benz Dome against Georgia Tech on a Friday night is huge, in my opinion. We're probably the only game being played, or at least that I know of, that really will be able to showcase what we can do. So we want to take advantage of it. And then, of course, going to Lucas Oil Stadium and playing in another NFL stadium will be fun for our fans. So we're excited to play Indiana there. And then I just think any weekday games, which we have 4, is a chance to showcase what Louisville's all about. So we want to take advantage of those. We need to play well in those. We need to be prepared for those, and try to win those games.
Jeff, how big is it to have Jack? He knows the system. He's been with you guys at Purdue, knows kind of the terminology, knows you and Brian well. How big is that for your first year, and what does that do, for the competition, for the other guys to have somebody like that around him also?
Well, that's an important position. You want to make sure you have talented guys that can win you football games and lead the team, and that can make plays. I do think that it was important to add a veteran to the mix. Jack obviously knows us and knows our system and has played a lot of football, so we feel good about him. Brock Doman has experience as well, so we want to allow him to compete and learn the offense and things. And I think we have some young quarterbacks that we are looking forward to developing. Pierce and a nucleus of a few other guys, I think we'll get an opportunity to show what they're all about. And I've been excited about what I've seen to this point, and I think that getting them on the field, getting them game reps in spring practice as much as we can in team settings where they have to make plays with a little heat on them will be very important. So we're excited about that position and developing it, and adding Jack I think will be big because he does understand it.
Yeah, Coach, I was going to ask you, is it an open competition at the quarterback position?
Well, we'll always have open competition at every position. Jack does have a lot of experience, and we're bringing him here for a purpose and a reason, and we'll give him an opportunity to do his thing. But we also want to continue to develop everybody and make sure they're all ready to go. And whether it's one guy playing the entire game, or certain packages for others, or whatever we think we have to do to win, we'll definitely get that done.
Did an outstanding job at Purdue of having walk-ons come in and develop and contribute to the team. Is that a situation that will continue here at Louisville, and how big of a group of walk-ons will there be?
Well, I hope so. I think that we have had success with a lot of walk-ons doing very well for us, which is good to see, because these guys have earned their stripes and done it the hard way, and so we're always excited when they do well. And we've added walk-ons to this point, and we'll continue to add. And those guys can get out there and show what they can do. They'll be on the field, but it's too early for me to tell exactly where those guys will come from. But we definitely want to add to the roster, and especially locally and in the state, guys that want to be a part of Louisville football, we want them to come and do that, and we will give them an opportunity to get on the field if that's what they want to do.
And Coach, I just want to ask, just recruiting, this is your first class here at Louisville. What's it like recruiting to this school and the changes that's taking place at this school, this program, as opposed to like when you were being recruited to U of L? Just some of the big differences, and how cool is it? It's surreal.
Well, I think that Louisville's a national brand. Everyone knows about it in the football and basketball world now, even in the other sports as well. But you got a beautiful stadium now that's as good as any in the country. We've got really, really good facilities that when people come here, they're excited to see. We're going to play a top-notch schedule every year. And I think we have a chance to compete at a high level and recruit a high caliber of young men that want to come in here and win championships. So, like everything, there's ebbs and flows, but this program has definitely made a whole lot of progress and done a lot of really good things, and had some great players come through here, and we want to try to do our part to, step up the game as much as we can, and allow players to come in here and be great and play at the next level and help us win some championships.
Jeff, just what's it been like early on with the players returning, the newcomers in, just meshing, gelling together, just trying to get everybody on the same page? Just what has that been like early on, just building those relationships with coaches and players?
Well, I think that we've been on the road for a long time, so it did take us a while to kind of really get around our players, other than a hello and here and there. So that's been good to kind of get back and get in front of them and talk to them and meet with them and do those things. And so we're excited about getting the chance to do that. I think our newcomers have added competition. I think things are competitive here, and everyone understands the best guys will play no matter who that is. So, a lot of people step up their game when the competition rises. Others, who don't like it, maybe it's not the place for them. But, these guys have meshed well. I think they're all here with a purpose, and, as we continue to develop the relationship with them and the bond with them, we hope to push them to do great things.
Jeff, your staff is coming to a completion. Obviously, there's a lot of familiarity from guys that came with you from Purdue, including your co-defensive coordinators. Talk about, I guess, their relationship that you saw on the field as co-D coordinators last year, and obviously you liked it because you brought it to Louisville as well.
Well, I've been coaching for a while now, and 2 years ago we kind of went to approach on defense where I just wanted a more collaborative approach instead of one voice, and I wanted that collaborative approach to definitely include mine as well. So I wanted to really, first off, hire a group of guys that were great people first, just really quality people that when you asked around and you talked to people about them, they all said great things. Obviously, football knowledge was important as well. But we wanted, people that wanted to have a voice but understand it's going to be a collaborative approach and that everyone's going to have a voice in the room, and that, as we continue to try to put the best product on the field, we want to be able to point the fingers at ourselves first to get things fixed and not be scared to take the blame when things aren't going well, but be willing to work together. So I think, with Coach English and Coach Hagan, my 2 years ago at Purdue, we had 3 co-D coordinators, and not many people do that, but I love the room. We had Brad Lambert in there as well, who's now the defensive coordinator at Wake Forest, with Ron and Mark, and we had a great room. And then it actually helped as well when Brad left that we were able to keep that same continuity in terminology and structure, and those guys took it over. So, I'm very familiar with them. We're going to work hard at being great on defense. Keeping Mark Abbey here, I think is huge. He understands the team. He understands what they did well on defense and why they did, and is a hard worker and has been a great addition. We've added Steve Ellis to coach the corners, who I couldn't find a negative thing about him with everybody I talked to. I mean, a hard worker, a grinder, really wants to coach at a high level and develop young men. He can develop relationships with recruits as good as anybody I've seen, so we're excited about him. And then, Carl Meslowski will coach our special teams and help with the defense, and he's been here as well, so he understands the team and the makeup and the guys. He was with us this past year at Louisville. Did a solid job. He fit in well with us. He's a hard worker. He's a team guy. So I just think having a great nucleus of good guys in a room that are willing to work together is as important as anything.
Jeff, kind of along those same lines, obviously added Stephen Ellis, too, who maybe not has the same Louisville ties but did coach with Charlie Strong. When you get all of these guys in here who have, past experience where they're playing for coaching at Louisville, how does that just help in, meshing in a new area and just kind of, establishing what you want to do?
Well, I believe in adding as much experience as well to a room, and we've got former head coaches on our staff, former offense and defense coordinators at a lot of big schools. We try to continue to add great people to the mix that are going to blend in and bond well with the people we have and that can work together for a common cause to help us win championships. Yes, a lot of these guys are familiar with this university, been here before. Some guys have lived here, some guys have played here, some guys have coached here. And I think it matters. I think that they understand a little bit of the dynamics of what it takes to win here, what we need to do, how we need to recruit, where we need to recruit. And I just think every little thing matters nowadays in winning. So we want to make sure we have the perfect mix and gel that together and work really hard to get that done.
Jeff, does spring football take on added importance in the first year of a program?
Well, it'll be very important, like always. As you're in a program a while, sometimes it gets to be where you're working the young guys and trying to keep your veterans healthy. because it takes a toll on them playing 13, 14, at some point 15 games a year. And that's kind of what it turned into a little bit at the last place. And now, yes, there's a lot of new things that people need to hear and be able to play fast with and understand. So that'll be very important. But also, we'll have some veterans that play a lot of football. We don't want to overwork those guys, and we want to keep them healthy. And there's a handful of guys that are on the shelf right now getting things fixed. We want to make sure that happens. But, yes, taking advantage of the 15 practice will be very important. All the meetings and walkthroughs and workouts we have are very important, and I just think you want to get these guys to compete, understand what we're doing, so that when we get on the field, they can play fast and furious and make a lot of plays. So we'll we pushed it back a little a little farther back than we have in the previous years, a little bit, but I think we understand the dynamics here. So with spring break being where it is, we're going to start after spring break, go 3 practices a week for 5 weeks, culminate with a spring game on April 21st, which years ago used to be the best time to have a spring game, the night before Thunder on a Friday night. And I hopefully we have a great crowd that'll come out and watch us compete on that day.
Jeff, two-part with as far as recruiting staff, we've heard a lot about, not just here but other schools, about recruiting staffs and the way with the portal that you have to have that staffed the way, with a lot of numbers. Do you have the numbers you need now? Will you continue to add to that staff? And then in that regards, you spent a lot of time in Florida with most of your staff. Is that kind of showing what the importance is for you moving forward?
Well, we're going to continue to build the staff and the support staff and recruiting staff here. A lot of those guys aren't here. We've been able to keep things going with Pete Nocta and John Herring and Trent Mossberger leading the charge on the recruiting front, with us coaches working extremely hard with them. I do think it's important. What we may do different than others is our assistants are going to be heavily involved, not only in recruiting, but the everyday communication with prospects and coaches. And we want to make sure a lot of these guys want to hear from the coach, from the head coach, from the coordinator, from their position coach. So we want to make sure that happens. And but over the next month, we'll continue to add a little bit to each one of those to shore some things up. And I think that making sure the fit is right is important, and also making sure that we're all able to contribute to recruiting is what we kind of grew to at the last place, is just making sure we understand it's not the recruiting department's job to get recruits, it's all of our job. So I think collaborating and piecing that together will be vital as we continue forward.